We all talk about personal branding. We think of logos and colors and all of that stuff. The truth is the personal brand is a story, and it's probably the most important part of your real estate business as we navigate this changing market. So today we're going to talk about personal brand and the relevance of building a personal brand the right way. So stay tuned. I can't wait to share this with you. What's up, guys? Jeremy Kane, Real Estate Agent Playbook. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you so much. Working on growing that community every day. Please share the episode. And if you are so indulged, please leave a 5-star review, as that goes a long way in the podcast algorithms. So let's get into this one. So why are personal brands in real estate so important, right? In the past and in classic real estate, you just kind of go with the company that you see the signs everywhere, and maybe it's a balloon, maybe it's something else, but the truth is that as agents, the brokerage kind of model is changing, as and the personal brand has really always been the key to your success. There are obviously brokerages that give leads and do all the things, but the truth is that your personal brand, and if you're building your personal brand as a real estate agent, you can take your business to any brokerage and plug in, and it'll be absolutely the same. And so you have to kind of think of your real estate brokerage as something a little bit different. It's not the brand you can kind of hide behind. It's more of the resources and tools and trainings and things like that they give you to elevate your personal brand. Because at the end of the day, when it's time to retire, quote unquote, retire as a real estate agent. That's funny, unless you're at EXP, but we don't have to talk about that today. Real estate agents don't retire, they expire, right? So if you're going to retire from the real estate business, you walk in, you shake your broker's hand, say thanks. He says, thanks for making me a shit ton of money, and you're out the door. So that, to me, absolutely explains why the personal brand is so important. And sure, you could, connect with other agents and do all of the things, when you retire from a brokerage that you've, helped build that brand for so long and never really got in the personal brand side. But your personal brand is everything, because you could even be competing against agents from your same brokerage for a listing, right? So what separates you if you just have your company's brand there? So essentially, a brand is like a competitive sport, right? You always have to step up your game. You always have to be tweaking and changing it, but it always has to remain the same, right? The heart of the team will remain the same while other things on the periphery change. And so that personal brand is something that we need to really focus on. And it starts with your story, right? It starts with how you want to be perceived, what your life has been like, what your interactions has been like with your clients or with your real estate agent. If you are just getting into the business, whatever that looks like, you want to make sure that your brand is something that is a forever evolving kind of recipe for success for you. So make sure that we're really focused on that, how you show up, how you treat your clients, how you treat the other agents, how you treat industry partners. All of this stuff should go into your brand, right? I'm very lucky that when I walk in a room, people can say, hey, that's Jeremy. I watch his videos on YouTube, or I watch his videos on Instagram, right? They come up and they say, I secretly stalk you on Instagram. Cool. That's great. I'm just here to provide knowledge for you. That's kind of my brand. So when I go into rooms, my brand supersedes me because of my social media, reach and things like that. We'll talk about that in a second. But it's really a leg up, because people are like, oh, that's Jeremy. I need to go introduce myself. I need to go talk to him. The more conversations you have, even if it's with other realtors, or business professionals, the better your business is going to do. So if your brand can supersede you like that, it's absolutely game changing, but it doesn't start, just by flipping a switch. It takes time, it takes energy and effort and consistency along the way to make it happen. So getting more into the real estate side of things, unleash your unique value proposition within your brand. What's that going to be? What are you doing differently than the other 2,000 agents in your market or 20,000 agents in your market? And if you can build a unique value proposition that's in line with your brand, as you can see, the consistency kind of keeps going, right? And you can easily take that and build another, pillar of your business, as long as it's within brand guidelines. But you must be something unique, and you can't have your why and your brand be all about, oh, I just love helping people and looking at houses. Like, that's what everybody says is, why did you get into real estate? Flexible schedule, like helping people, enjoy looking at houses, just love real estate, right? That's not unique. That's not a brand. That is, an industry-wide, easy answer to a very important question. And so develop that why you're getting into it, and then develop unique value propositions that kind of stem from that or grow from your brand and your story and your why, and you will take it to a whole different level. Right? If you have, for instance, I have a Mile High Champions program, right? I think it's very important to give back to those people who are in the front lines of the community: teachers, nurses, doctors, first responders, military. All of those people are grouped into my Mile High Champions program. Okay, that's me wanting to give back. That's me aligning with, those people and respecting what they do and saying thank you to them. That's part of my brand. And so you can develop different things in line with your brand based on your lifestyle and your quality of life and what you want to, be remembered for, so to speak. So that unique value proposition is something that's very important. A lot of real estate agents, especially with all the commission talk that's going on and our buyer commissions and all of that, are like, well, we do this, we deserve this, but they can't explain what their unique value is. Therefore, they're going to struggle with this new issue with the commissions not being guaranteed to be paid for by the seller, which they never have been. All commissions have always been negotiable. And so that's where we really need to dial it in. And this is where your unique value proposition, along with your brand, is really going to come into play as we move forward. So if you're interested in sitting down and talking about how we can develop your brand, maybe aside from your brokerage, please book a call with me. I'd be happy to sit down and, dig deeper and help you find that why and help you develop this brand, because ultimately either, you're going to develop that personal brand and provide value to your people and be able to explain it and stand behind it, or your income may be drastically affected. The next thing is, if you're connecting to a personal brand, you're able to develop authentic stories. And storytelling is so big, especially in our current technological age with social media and all the things. So if you can develop a story and you can be a good storyteller, you can create viral content like nothing. Because as your content gets out there, sure, there's going to be the boring, like, hey, this is the pre-approval process. We have to educate as well. But if you can start to tell the story, if you can start bringing people in that all support that brand, as you can see, as we're building this up, your brand is becoming a much bigger thing than just a foundation for your business. It's becoming what everything is propped up by. And so client stories of, crazy things you've seen in houses, stories of success, stories of failure. If you can become a storyteller and put it into your client avatar's, ecosystem, whether that's Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or, wherever they are, events, whatever, you can absolutely take your brand to the next level. I think storytelling is literally like, HGH back in the day for the home run kings, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, those guys, when they were on the juice in baseball. I just watched a video of Mark McGwire breaking Hank Aaron's record, and like the excitement in the stadium was absolutely crazy. Like, I know I'm in Colorado, I know the Rockies aren't very good, but I haven't seen that excitement in a regular season baseball game since that time, right? So if you can give your business a little juice, so to speak, make sure it's legal and healthy and all the things, but if you can give yourself a little juice with that storytelling, it'll absolutely prop up your brand. And if the brand is the number one thing that you're working on building as you go, and it's always in the back of your mind, I have to be on brand, then you will absolutely see your success skyrocket in the real estate industry. So with all that said, social media is absolutely a huge part of what we're talking about today. You got to get out there. And sure, you're not going to compare your day one to my day 350 or whatever it is, right? You can't become an influencer overnight. But all you have to do is capture the attention of your audience, of your target avatar, and things will be a lot different. Therefore, the easiest thing on social to do is, hey, would I find this helpful? Would myself 3 years ago find this information helpful? Or would I scroll past it? Would I look at this and be like, okay, sure, there's branding fillers. There's all kinds of stuff you can do on social so you can kind of keep the algorithm ticking. But ask yourself, everything you're putting out there, would that really be interesting to me 3 years ago? Or would that help my previous self if I was in that situation? And so that's how I make content, especially for this channel, is like, okay, what did I need to hear 3 years ago that I don't, I obviously just kind of comes as second nature to me now. How have I grown over 3 years, which is absolutely insane, right? I've taken my business to top level brokerage and become a top producer in my state. And I've really accelerated my income, my, everything, my net worth, my lifestyle, my happiness, all of that has gone through the roof because I've made these decisions, but it's all been based on my personal brand and putting that information out there into the ecosystem. So understand that you're not going to get it all done day one, but social media is a free avenue to help you prop up that brand, to connect with your people, to put your brand out there, and to be a resource for others so that they can identify with your brand as well. So ultimately, if you really look at it, and even in the sports world, right? Sure, the team brand is all out there, but now you see different players coming up with different brands. And it kind of started with, the Jordan Nike stuff and identifying as a sponsor there. And then, that's obviously taken hold. You got athletes on commercials, you got athletes with their own name brand, clothing and all of those things. That's exactly where they're seeing it. Okay, this is the brand I play for today, but my contract's only this long, right? My time here is only this long. But if I build my personal brand, not only can I take that with me to the next city that I play in when I get that bigger contract, but maybe when I go into retirement, maybe my brand continues to carry on and have the legacy, that was laid down right here. Michael Jordan clearly has a brand far beyond his playing days. And so that's something that we want to really dive into and focus on. And so if you have any questions about personal branding, I would absolutely be willing to sit down and talk with you. My good friend Mike Sherrard has a ton of content on YouTube about personal branding, so check him out as well. But if you would like to really sit down and dial it in, it needs to be focused. It needs to start with your story. And the name on the uniform definitely is who we play for. However, the name on the back is who carries your career to the heights you want to take it. So I hope that helps. Please like, comment, subscribe. Please share the podcast, and we'll talk to you next time.